Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sprag. This is Mars here. I'm here with my boy Petey. Petey, say what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, today we're going to be talking about Fallout, that huge hit on Prime Video. That's right, Fallout, that video game that nobody figured would be able to be picked up on TV because it's so damn quirky. Petey, what do you think about it before we start looking at the trailer? Did you think this was going
Um,
to be a hit?
well, I didn't know what to make of it initially because I don't know the video game, and I think the our audience is kind of pushing us to go into these video games because we've had some success. But Homegirl here is what pulled me in, so I was like, I want to try it out, and it took me a while to get into it, and then when I was into it, it was very good. So, yeah, I was, and it had some interest. It's basically following kind of three characters but two of the characters have connected now, and it also plays to corporate greed. So it's a lot of interesting things in there, and how the world would work if things fell apart, and how the corporate would take this on. But yeah, it's interesting, and you have to worry the characters aren't bulletproof. Obviously, the ghoul is bulletproof because he can come back to life. But the first season, we really felt for the girl. For someone who has to survive out there, you basically have to watch the water you drink, or else you could become a ghoul yourself. And it's one of the horrors of being like, would you survive? But at the same time, you wouldn't become a ghoul like the guy who's a gunfighter or the whatever, the bounty hunter. You would become someone who would be like the Walking Dead. So it's really a story where we have to worry about the girl. You probably have to worry about the black guy. One of the odd things in the first season was the black guy having an injury in his boot, because that was an old thing that would happen to black people in the what's that thing in the fire department. They would put glass and stuff in the guy's boots, and when they put it on there, when they would go, oh, they run quick. They put the boot on, and then the black person would have a foot full of glass and whatnot in there. So it's like kind of plain to us. Like this, I immediately thought the girl sabotaged him. I didn't know they were using it to say he sabotaged himself because he was scared. But it was the symbolism. It's like, that symbolism was like a little rough for me at first. It was like, okay. And his character grew because he kind of learned as he went along. So he was a reluctant type of person. And then he kind of took the initiative after that. So, it was interesting. So yeah, I was definitely watching it. It got better and better as I figured out the characters. And sometimes you have to, when you don't know a property, you have to sit through a few to get to it. So
Got it. All right, so let's take a look at the trailer for two, so we can see the girl who got you into it, Lucy, and Maximus, and we'll see where the ghoul himself, and played by the fantastic Walton Goggins.
well, he's everywhere now.
Hey, yeah.
I'm looking for someone.
Common story around here.
Someone you care about or someone you hate?
Oh, what a great question. What say you, Miss McLean?
Why would my dad go to Las Vegas?
You want to know why the world ended? It started here with one man.
It's all over, but the cry.
Cooper Howard, star of the silver screen.
And no,
Like yourself, I am the very best at what I do.
but
And what I do is I know everything. I know there's a war coming. The bombs will only be the beginning. My concern is that you would do just about anything to save your family. I think you are actually quite a violent man. You just don't want to kill me yet. Let's get lucky, shall we?
I defer to you about what to do in this situation.
So we got a ways to go.
Yeah, we do. But I mean, the first trailer looks pretty good. I mean, Jesus.
I don't know
It
about
is
the
so. But
Godzilla character, but we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, she's basically looking for her father. Everything that she believed in, which because she lived in one of those silos, everything she believed in turned out to be far different. The silos is basically for people who were selected, to go there, the elite, while everybody else stayed on top of the world as the world was gone into nuclear war and fallout. And then we have the ghoul, Walton Goggins, who somehow was able to not only survive the fallout, he's lived many generations. I mean, I think he was they put him in like a casket and he came back, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
At the very beginning. And so he's lived a very long time, and he has his mind, his control of his mind, his facilities and stuff like that. So he's very unique in that compared to anyone. I don't think there's anyone else on the show like him.
Yes, so far,
Well,
yeah.
Maximus is part of a religious sect, who have a particular way of they're trying to dominate the world and cleanse the world. So it's three different personalities coming together with different stuff. And you have the Gould. I'm still not sure. The thing about the Gould is that we're seeing the backstory of what happened because he really was right there. I think his wife was one of the scientists, right? And he was literally right there from the very beginning. He was a movie star, and they wanted him. And one thing just to remember to tell people is that this is not our world. This is like a world that's slightly different, a little askew. So you have like that 50s, 60s aesthetic
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, because I think that's when the world ended. I think the US and Russia fought each other. So it's a different world. And I came about it, you wouldn't believe this. I came about this through the video game. I found out about it through a magazine called The Economist, which is a goony goo goo. It's a business magazine,
Yeah, yeah.
and they were talking about how this was a different type of a video game, and this was years ago, and this was before it ever became a movie, a TV show, or anything. I don't think anybody was thinking that. It was just coming out with another version of it, but it was very interesting and how they were saying how they were taking the real world and changing it up. But what's your take on this? The trailer is very interesting. It seems to be the continuing story. I'm interested. I want to see more of it. Petey, what's your take on it, please?
Yeah, it looks interesting. We're getting to see more of the history, and I guess maybe he's not as genuine as we saw in the ghoul in his real life. But at the same time, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of hijinks. There's a lot of humor, and I think right here you can kind of see like she has like the Frank Miller type of look. Like Frank Miller women kind of have the big eyes and whatnot. So it's like yeah, but it looks like it's interesting. It looks like they're gonna have some more of these kind of walkers thing guys going along. So oh, it's, it's it. I don't know if that's Superman or not from the TV show, but yeah, they look like they're in a different type of show. That's one of the flyers, not the robots. So, but yeah, you got some robot action. It's like everything that Hollywood wants. You got robots, metal smashing. We got Walking Dead characters, all in one thing. So
I have a question for you, Pete.
oh god, what's up?
you know, it's like these end of the world shows like Walking Dead and this and others. And one thing I come to realize is that it seems a hero comes into a situation where there's a society, but the society is slightly askew to what we currently have.
Yeah,
And yet they're like, it's not right, so we're gonna burn that sucker down. So they destroy that society. And then you're like, chaos still reigns, but the society has to be pure, altruistic, it has to be helpful. But yeah, you gotta think like at least there's some order here, right? At least there's some,
the
you know,
Hollywood
there's
doesn't
some light in the darkness. So what's your take on that?
Hollywood doesn't like any kind of lie or falsehood or facade. even though I think was it The Last of Us had the facade that this girl could save someone, but he decided to let her, you know, not get dissected. But the thing is, and the audience has a hard time when you hear people say Superman lying to Lois about the secret identity. The thing is, sometimes, and this is not agreeing because the selection was just people of money, but at the same time, it is your future, and you can't drink the water. So even if you're trying to find the truth, what are you putting yourself into? It's like the Matrix, right? Like the Matrix, all this is fake, and then when you go to Zion, it's like, oh, life is terrible. But initially, Zion was cool. When we saw the other movies, Zion was kind of dragging the films down because there was nothing really interesting in Zion besides those a lot of metal and explosions and all that stuff, rather than the cool kind of karate stuff. So I think it's hard to do a thing because you want to do a story where the truth is harder than the falsehood is better than the truth. But on TV, people just kind of go to try to figure out what the truth is. And I always look to this. There was the try to keep it short. The Planet Ace cartoon where the humans were like, we got to find these artifacts, and they found these artifacts of the ABCs, proving that there was humans here before them. And I was like, what would that matter to an ape society if they found the truth? It's like the
True.
same thing if you find the truth of different societies that either reigned over different areas, or even some of the things that I think when you go through the Bible and they talk about sages of different lands of people going back to their homeland, and then people say in the Bible it says, oh, we're not supposed to reestablish this community, and they're like, the people in there like, no, we they don't even listen to that. So it's like, in life, in truth, we do live with a lie. We do live with society is going to get better even though it's worse. But on TV, we're like, no, we got to get to this truth. So it's kind of hard to do the real life thing, whereas we would just take whatever the other pill to keep us in the fog. So, but you can't really, to the audience, people are going to be like, how could the person do this? How could they do this? The same with, if you look at I always go to the Best Man too, where it's like the guy was cheating on the girl, and the girl cheated one time. It was just like, oh my God, what this is like, she it's like, you're in a cheating relationship, it don't matter. But the thing is, the truth matters in movies. And I think in script writing, I think Chris McQuarrie said when he did the what's the name? He did The Usual Suspects. He didn't know he wasn't supposed to have the narrator lie. Like, he had the narrator lying, even though the narrator was a person. It wasn't with the omniscient narrator. It was a regular person who was Verbal Kent, who's the narrator, lying to the audience, but he's a liar. So, like the people say, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to have the person narrating lie to you. But they're putting us in the story. But there's rules that people don't necessarily, unless you're a good criminal, then you can lie, and then they do the frog and the snake thing all the time. So
Well, thanks. I see your point. I see your point. And I guess Rick's crew in Walking Dead wouldn't be destroying everything, and Lucy in this show wouldn't be trying to destroy everything, because people make decisions, and not always the best decisions, and groups make decisions, and so you see what happens. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a red pill, blue pill, right?
yeah,
Red pill, you wake up. Blue pill, you stay in the illusion. And sometimes I think the illusion is what a lot of people want, right?
yeah, yeah.
You know.
That's the
So, so hey, if you like what you hear, give us a comment, subscribe, thumbs up, spin a rack.
we are out.